In this video, I'll be explaining everything you need to know about DHT11 sensor module. I will be explaining what it is, what it can do, how we can use it with Arduino, and we will be making an amazing project with DHT11 sensor module. By the end of this video, you should be having a really good understanding about this module, Arduino programming, and also you should be able to start making your own amazing DIY projects using this module. If you have any doubts, make sure you ask it in the comments down below. So without wasting time, let's get started. DHT11 is one of the most popular beginner Arduino sensor. This is a digital temperature and humidity sensor. That means it can sense the ambient temperature and humidity of a space. Now, there are so many sensor modules available for Arduino. We have IR sensor module, we have ultrasonic sensor module, we have color sensor module, we have moisture sensor module, but almost all of these sensor modules detect only one thing that it is designed for. But this DHT11 sensor module, it can detect two things, temperature and humidity. And that is because there are actually two sensors inside this module. We have one temperature sensor and a humidity sensor. For measuring humidity, DHT11 uses what's called resistive moisture sensor. And for temperature, it uses something called NTC thermistor. NTC stands for negative temperature coefficient. So we have two sensors, but the strange thing is there are only three pins available for this sensor. One is the ground pin, the other is the VCC or 5 volt, and the third one is the data pin. So we'll be getting two values, the temperature as well as humidity from the same pin. But how does it actually happen? And that's the clever part. Inside DHT11 sensor module, there is an 8-bit microcontroller which is so tiny it will fit nicely inside this enclosure. So this microcontroller unit reads the raw value from both these sensors, calibrates them using pre-stored calibration coefficients, converts them into a single digital format, and sends that data out over a single data rate. That's why DHT11 is called a digital sensor. So as I told you earlier, there are only three pins. The first pin is the ground pin. The second pin will be the VCC pin, where we can provide a voltage between 3.8 volt to 5 volt DC. And then we have the data pin, from where we'll be receiving serial data output from the sensor module. Okay, once again I'm repeating, we are actually talking about DHT11 sensor module that has three pins with digital serial output. There is another DHT11 sensor that has four pins. Now let's connect it to an Arduino board and see how we can fetch the temperature and humidity value from the sensor to our Arduino. Don't worry about the circuit or code, guys. We'll be explaining everything to you in a step-by-step manner so that it will be easy for you to understand. So even if you don't have an Arduino Uno board, you can use an Arduino Nano or Arduino Mega, everything that you have right now. So the circuit connection is very simple. The first pin is the ground pin, which is connected to the ground pin of Arduino. The second pin is the VDD pin, which is connected to the VDD pin or the 5 volt of Arduino. And then we have the data pin, which we will be connecting right now to the digital pin 4 of Arduino. So once the circuit is completed, we can connect our Arduino board to our computer and open up Arduino IDE. So if you don't have Arduino IDE, we can download it freely from Arduino's official website. So download it and simply open it. The next thing that we need is the DHT11 sensor module library. To install the library, all we need to do is go to the library manager and search for DHT sensor library, and the right library will show up. Once you install it, we can copy this code here. So in this code, what we do is like we include the DHT library first, which handles all the single wire timing protocol for us under the hood. We define DHT pin as 4, and that's where we connected the data wire. And the DHT type is DHT11. The library also supports DHT22 version and DHT21 version. So this tells it which sensor we are using right now. We create a DHT object with those settings. In the setup function, we start serial at 9600 baud rate and call dht.begin to initialize the sensor. In the loop function, we will be adding this dht read humidity and dht read temperature that return float values. We check insan, that is not a number, to detect failed readings. This happens if the sensor isn't connected properly or the timing fails. Then we print everything cleanly to the serial monitor. And once the code is done, simply upload this Open serial monitor at 9600 baud rate and you will see readings every 2 seconds. Now let's see what happens when I breathe on the sensor. So see that humidity jump? That's resistive moisture sensor reacting to the moisture in my breath in real time. Now we will do a real project with the sensor that will give you a really good understanding of this sensor and you can start making your own projects. So here is what we are building right now. The DHT11 sensor will be continuously monitoring the temperature. If the temperature values goes above a particular threshold, let's say 30 degrees Celsius, then it will turn on a fan automatically. And when the temperature goes below 30 degrees Celsius, it will turn off the fan automatically. And first, before going forward, let me share with you something that might be really helpful for you. If you are really into electronics and robotics and home automation, then you know circuits and PCBs will always be a part of your life. And if you have been watching our videos, we have been using a tool called Altium PCB Designer for the past few years in order to draw circuit and create PCBs for our projects. Altium has so many beginner-friendly tools that helps us to draw the circuit and design the PCBs, whether it is for hobby projects or for professional use. We always prefer creating PCBs for our projects because it helps to keep the circuit clean and neat and helps to get rid of all the nasty wires hanging around. We can even see how the PCB actually looks like even before production in 3D in Altium PCB Designer. If you're a DIY electronics enthusiast, you're going to love it. So make sure you check it out. You will not regret it. The link is in the description down below. First, we will be using an LED instead of a fan so that it will help beginners to understand better. And then we will be replacing the LED with a real DC motor fan. You will find complete instructions about the codes, the circuit and the components in the link in the description down below. So the fan pin is 7. But like I told you earlier, I'll be replacing the fan with LED first. Then we'll be replacing the LED with the actual fan. So the temperature threshold is currently set to 30 degree. You can change this to whatever makes sense for your environment. In the setup function, we configure pin 7 as output. We set it low immediately to make sure that the fan or the LED doesn't randomly run on startup. In the loop function, everything is the same as demo 1. We read the temperature, humidity and validate the data. And then we have a simple if-else condition. If temperature is at or above the threshold, we write high to pin 7 to turn on the LED or the fan. Below the threshold, the fan or the LED will be off. That single if-else is the core logic of every real thermostat and cooling system in the world. The exact same principle, but the sensors just get more precise and the systems get more complex. And just for the demo, I'll be lighting up this lighter very close to the sensor and I will fast forward it right now. And you can see in the serial monitor the temperature value is rising steadily and once it reaches 30 degrees Celsius, the light will turn on. It's almost 30 and here we go. As soon as the temperature crossed 30 degrees Celsius, the light was turned on. Now, when we are replacing the LED with a DC motor fan, we need to keep in mind one thing. We cannot directly connect the DC motor fan directly to the Arduino pin. It might not be able to provide enough current to rotate the motor. So, we can use an NPN transistor or a MOSFET as a switch. For the time being, I'll be using a MOSFET as a switch. And this is a circuit that I designed for home automation system using Arduino Uno. So here, as you can already see, there is a MOSFET that is acting as a switch. And this MOSFET is connected to pin number 8 of Arduino. So all we need to do is connect this fan to the motor, power on the board and see how it performs. And I will do the same thing once again. I will bring the lighter close to the temperature sensor and here you can see the temperature value is rising steadily and once it approaches 30 degree, yes, the fan is turned on and there you go guys. Once the value goes below 30 degree, the fan will automatically turns off. Okay guys, so now you know how to make your own projects using DHT11 sensor module and Arduino. If you have any doubts, make sure you ask it in the comments down below. If you want more amazing project tutorials like this, make sure you check out our channel. You will find a ton of them in different playlists. Now let's build a simple home automation system using Arduino.